Hey, internets, we're back. It's been a while, but we are back. We're alive, and we're gonna D and D for you all. So actually, we're D and D for us, but you get to watch it. So how cool is that? So welcome. It's been a while. Into the Borderlands is the name of the game. It's actually an old ancient module from I don't know when, but it's in a new book from Goodman Games, and that's what we're doing. So let's go around the horn real quick. Just tell us who you are, who you're playing, your name and your classes, and we'll do that. Let's start tonight with Ms. Misery.
Hi, I'm Miss Misery, aka Kayla. I see my Twitter handle down below. Follow me there, and I am playing Harlow, the Tiefling Hexblade Warlock, who's going through some stuff, processing.
We have some of that in this group. I don't know. It's very dramatic D&D group. I love it. All right, very good. How about Latheris?
Hi, I'm Abby, Nascathio Dio. Across the internet, I play Latheris, the Minotaur Barbarian, and probably the least dramatic out of the entire party so far.
Well, I haven't had a chance to get into your knives yet, so we'll get you cranked up.
I'm excited to see you do that, Wiley.
Yeah. Good boy, Minotaur. Let's see if we can get you wound up. Excellent. How about let's see, Flint. Almost called you by your actual name. Flint, what's up?
Hi guys, it's me, Shannon, Shannalogic across all the internet, and I am playing the Ranger Barbarian multi-classing gay disaster known as Flint. And I am very excited to be here. I missed last time, and it was painful watching Abby play my character. Not because she didn't do a good job, but because it's my baby. My baby.
We didn't get you killed, so
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's true.
We tried, but we couldn't pull it off. So I'm glad you're back. Yeah, so for you, it's been like 6 weeks or something.
It's been
For
an
this game.
age.
All right, very good. How about Lyalla? Tell us what's going on there, Lyalla.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sheena. I'm like the villain across all of the internets, and I play Lyalla Bright, who is a half-elf war cleric of Tritherion.
Nice, very good. And we got to hear a little bit from your deity last session. You had a little vision, kind of like warmer, colder, or well, colder.
Give me a clue.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And last but not least, the gentleman of the group, Pavel Mansard.
Hello. Yes, I'm Devin. I play Pavel Mansard. Intelligent, though some might argue, man of the bow. Here to ruin Wiley's encounters one shot at a time.
Man, I'll tell you.
That's two encounters I've destroyed with one shot.
Yeah, you blow him up pretty well. So, but I think Demogorgon will hold his own against you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kidding. And I am Wiley Hobbit across all the internets where I exist. My name is Scott, and I'm your DM. And I'm just old and hobbity, and I love D&D, and I'm glad to be here. Big shout out, thank you to our good friend Corey, who's behind the curtain, pulling the levers, doing the things that need to be done so that we can stream. So really appreciate you there, and really happy to see some folks in chat. So please fire away as far as chat goes, and we'll try to remain kind of alert to that and so forth as we play. Just some reminders of some stuff here. We do play Theater of the Mind, so we go kind of really old school, and we use actual dice because we have an addiction, and all of us own so many. We want to have a chance to roll them, so we go Theater of the Mind. We go dice. Same typical house rules apply. If you're interested in donating to the channel, 500 bits will enable the party to have an advantage that they can apply to a like an ability check or maybe an attack roll, save, not a death save, however. If we do roll a crit, which does happen from time to time, it's 2 times the damage dice, so you roll your damage twice. You can quaff a potion as a bonus action, and we can usually take anywhere from 2 to 3 short rests per long rest. We kind of condense them to keep the game fresh, keep the spell slots and hit dice and things like that moving. So, shall we have D&D? All right. One thing I do want to mention is at some point tonight, we're still celebrating the good fortune that is the 1,000+ followers plateau that the channel reached about 2 weeks ago. There were so many members of the community that were generous enough to give stuff out to thank people and celebrate the 1,000 followers. And I believe tonight we have Aras Sivad donating something, or not, who knows, but we're going to give away something. Cool. So our producer tonight crafted a book for, it's kind of a kids role-playing D&D book, right, for the parents of D&D kids or something. Yeah. So pretty cool deal. I am a little embarrassed to say I still haven't purchased my copy, but now I must, because I'm live on the internet plugging this thing. I need to own one. I will go and buy one. But yeah, so that's your treasure tonight for your raffle. So at some point we'll do that. I imagine you maybe set it up during breaks, and when we come out of break, we'll kick that off later on. So let's D&D, shall we? This is our 14th session. We are in a place called the Q, Cascaton, and our party is still looking for Zelligar's Bane. Zelligar being one of the 2 primary residents of Cascaton. This labyrinth, this maze, and now what appears to be a cavern system they've discovered below, about 40 feet below the actual dwelling, was carved out, magically created. We're not sure, but Zelligar and Rogan are the 2 gentlemen. Zelligar is a mage, a wizard, some strength and amazement from many years ago, and Rogan was his partner, a fighter of great renown. And we are exploring their domicile, looking for Zelligar's Bane. It's apparently quite a stunning gem, and with that should be a scroll tube. And we're doing this at the behest of Lord Thanon. And we're in the world of Greyhawk, in case you're wondering what our setting is.
Cream.
Yes, and so we have found ourselves. The party has descended now to the cavern level. Close to the end of last session, they managed to figure out a way to lower their mule, Old Bill, and his load 40 feet down a 10-foot by 20-foot shaft.
No Bill's
it
left
helps.
behind.
Mission
Yeah,
Impossible.
We don't want to lose Old Bill. And so thanks to the brute strength of Lythiris, the farmer Minotaur boy, they managed to lower Old Bill, and they are in a cavern. The walls down here are quite irregular. We are leaving the carved stone construction of the upper level, and we are down in what we will refer to for now as the lower level. It's rough, it's unfinished. All the walls are irregular. It's a classic cavern. Most of these corridors down here, gang, are going to be around 10 feet wide, unless I tell you otherwise. Floors are a little bit uneven. There are piles of rock, debris, things of that nature here and there. And you're in a chamber that you descended through the pit. You actually discovered it twice and fell in it twice. I thought that was neat. Through your travels through the upper level, and dropped into about a 4-foot deep pool of very, very icy cold water that encompasses about half of this cavern. You're in the western half that's about almost 20 feet, 15 feet wide, 20 feet north to south. In the eastern half of this cavern, then the other 20 feet north and south, 15 feet east and west, is that pool of water. There is a passageway that is in the kind of the southeastern wall of this cavern, and you'll have to traverse through that, through about 10 feet of that water to get out the door. It kind of spills out, and the floor lifts just a bit into the chamber beyond. It is dark as dark gets, so some means of lighting will be necessary, torches, magical means, or otherwise. And so here you are. It is the middle of day 6 in the queue.
Anybody
Okay.
have torches?
Yeah, we got torches.
We've got lots of everything.
I'll light one up.
Okay. So when you light your torch, and 3 of you have been down here before. Harlow, Flint, and Pavel had come down here yesterday.
we had such a good time. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I did.
Yeah, it was cool. And so again, here you are in this chamber.
Yeah, I say we head to the door. I mean, that's why, like, we've come down here because we couldn't find anything up there. that door seems to be I mean, why would they have a locked door down here guarded by weird fire monsters? Unless there was something important.
Makes sense to me.
All right. Who wants to lead the way?
I do.
Okay,
Here,
so
I meant me, Flint, or Harlow. You haven't been there.
I'm fire resistant, so it's probably a good idea
You're
that I go.
fire immune.
Yeah, let's Harlow do that.
It's true. I adjust the little dragon thing over my horns again because I don't care if it is supposed to automatically adjust you. I just picture just hanging off one of my horns. It's like the horn just coming out of a nostril there. So I'm just like, all right, let's go. And I'll start heading towards that door, making sure everybody's behind me and checking on poor Bill, who's probably scared and cold.
Okay, so let's marching order will be Harlow. Who would like to follow Harlow?
I'll be right behind her.
I'll
Okay,
be
so
behind
Harlow,
her.
Flint.
I'll take back of the group.
So Lythiris, you'll be behind Lyalla, then
Yes, I
Pavel.
guess. Yeah.
bringing up the rear. Okay.
And you said the passages are generally 10 feet wide, so I imagine Lythiris has got Old Bill because he seems to like Old Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charm,
Old
boy,
Bill.
charm.
Old Bill has definitely taken a shine to the Minotaur.
On that
they
note,
s-
I'm gonna give Old Bill a little kiss.
Aww.
Nice.
Smooch and a pet.
Nice. Very good. All right, so the passageway out of this room, you have to kind of go through that flippin' cold water. I mean, cold water. The passageway is only about 10 feet wide, and then it immediately opens into a cavern, kind of facing south, and then the cavern opens to the west. And at its widest point, it's maybe 40 feet across. If there's a kind of the cavern sort of, it's almost picture a stomach in your mind, that shape where you head kind of south and then it veers southwest. And in the southwest end of the room, the corridor continues. Flint, Harlow, and Pavel, you know that corridor will lead you another 20 feet down the hall to the iron door that'll be on your left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where we're heading.
Okay. So you go through this cavern, uneventful. Again, dark. It's damper, more damp here than it was upstairs. Again, natural caverns. I'm sure there's groundwater here and there, that sort of thing. And it's damp, especially having left a room with a 4-foot deep pool in it. And so you come down the passageway. It's about 10 feet wide, and it actually goes to the southeast. And after about 10, 15, almost 20 feet, you'll see a door on your left, the iron door. And then the passageway continues on, and there's you can go to the right or straight.
I'm gonna head towards where the door is.
I will ready my bow.
Yeah, I'm got Eldritch Blast ready as well. Just being prepared.
All right, so if you recall,
Did we kill any of those? Or I
Killed
can't
one.
remember. Right.
What?
Killed one.
And there were 4, I believe.
I thought there were 3, but I could be wrong.
Well, I think there's 3 now. 2 or 3, maybe 4. But let's be ready.
Okay.
now, Flint, you'll recall that the way you were able to get in the door was with the key that you
Yeah.
located, the black metal key that you found, because you have 2 keys in your possession. You have the
Mhm.
black metal key that you found in the wizard's chamber in a desk drawer, and you have the large brass key that you went swimming to retrieve in the pool of acid in one of probably the second or third session in the queue.
Did I do that?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We have had multiple words about it.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm gonna use whichever key opens the door to open the door. I forget which one it was.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
the black.
it was the black key.
Yep.
And so you can insert that into the locked iron door, and you open the door, And if you look into the cavern, it kind of goes due east, about 50 feet deep, and it's about 20 feet wide. Again, irregularity is the watchword down here as far as the shape of these chambers. They're all cavernous, irregular, ceilings somewhere north of 10 plus feet high. Again, a little bit irregular in the ceilings. The cavern bends a little bit to the north, but your attention is focused on a quartet of hovering, small, fiery-looking figures that appear to be composed of this bubbling, oozing, pudding-like molten rock. And they see you, and they kind of scatter. You know, they're probably about in a 20-foot radius, and they raise up to the ceiling, and they look down at you. And I'm going to ask you all to roll initiative.
Sure.
Oh, why not? This is how our night's already starting.
Of course, I roll really, really well before we start playing.
10 for Harlow.
13 for Lythiris.
7.
8.
I'm still in front of everybody, so hopefully I get hit with the damage.
16.
Flint, you said 16.
Yes, sir.
Harlow, what did you tell me?
10. Yes, 10, I think. Yes, 10.
Okay.
Oh, and before we went into the room, Lythiris brought up his shield because he remembered what Pavel said.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I basically, instead of you being surprised, you're getting initiative because you know something's going on. Pavel, what was your initiative again?
7.
Nice. And Lyalla?
8.
Super.
You're doing so
Super.
well.
Okay. So let me get you all in order here. So what you have before you are these 4 magma-looking rock molten fire creatures. And what I'd like you to do here, Flint, roll me a d20, please.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Okay.
Yay.
I'm going to go ahead and give you that advantage then. You were rolling to break an initiative tie. I'm not even going to bother with the other duder.
Yee. I hope I roll well, when it counts.
Right?
Yeah, hopefully you didn't just use up your great roll or anything. That'd be tragic.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see these little guys hanging out up near the ceiling. And each of you take a moment to describe for me what you're wearing.
I have mostly leather armor except for metal greaves and like a metal half chest plate thing.
Okay.
I'm in full chainmail.
Oh no.
This is gonna suck.
Yeah, I already know what's about to happen because it happened to me last time.
Flint, what are you wearing, buddy?
I'm wearing a hodgepodge of leather armor. All
I need
leather.
that. Okay. And Lythiris, you're just a minotaur wearing like bib overalls, right?
I wish. I'm wearing half plate armor.
Half plate. Okay. So, I would like for Lyalla to roll me a save.
What kind of save?
Well, that's what I'm getting to here.
Ah.
Okay. Roll me a con save.
Okay. That's a natural 20, so a total of 23.
That seems
Hey.
decent.
Hey girl.
Very good.
Okay, so what's going to happen is your chainmail has become glowing hot. Okay. And you have taken 9 damage from this heat.
Sheesh.
And you now have a choice whether or not you wish to wear your armor or remove your armor. Know that if you keep it on, you will have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks for this round of combat. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Flint, it is your go. You have 4 of these. They're probably about 15 feet into the chamber and up. And there's a good 5 feet between each of them. So they cover about a 20-foot wide array. And they're cackling and laughing, and they think they're quite clever. As you watch your cleric friend start to sweat profusely and howl in gales of pain.
I'm so glad you said that. All right. Not the howling pain thing, but I got plans. All right. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on one of them, and then I'm going to take a shot with my longbow.
Okay. I will say, just for your help, if it helps, that you can see which one of them is probably affecting Lyalla's armor, because they made a little gesture and spoke something in a language. What languages do you speak?
I speak Primordial, which is like a Terran thing that sort of can understand fire.
Yeah,
well.
you heard something about heat and metal and in a broken form of Terran. So you know which one is working magic against your comrade.
All right. And I rolled a 17 to hit.
Okay. 17 is a good hit.
Yes. All right. And that's going to be 8 damage. And I'm going to use my Horde Breaker feat to attack the next one over, because they're all within 5 feet of each other.
Right. Now, you know they're 15 feet in the air, right?
Yep, that's why I got the longbow.
Okay. Very good. So 8 on... did you do this to the fellow that was...
Yeah, the one that was targeting Lyalla.
Okay.
And now, whichever next one over, I'm going to try and hit with a 22.
That's a good hit.
And that's going to be another 8 damage.
Nice.
Thank you, Hunter's Mark.
Okay. So, to the same one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
So
no, not the same one. It has to be 5 feet over, so it's the next one over.
Gotcha. Are you able to apply the Hunter's Mark damage to...
No, you're right. It's only the one, so that one only takes 6 damage.
That's where I got confused. Okay.
Corn.
We got 8 and 6. Very good.
Mhm.
Anything else? Any movement you'd like to take? You're basically, when you pull that door open, you're all kind of huddled in the doorway. Harlow's in front. In our marching order again, Harlow, Flint, Lyalla, Lythiris, Pavel.
I'm going to try and use some of my movement to push my way to the front of the group and try to distract them by yelling back in Terran that I can see past their tricks. I know what they're planning. And
then you know you're going to die, don't you? And they're cackling and very goblin-y and sort of... Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Okay. So, next up in the initiative, another one of those Terrans. You hear them make some commentary, again, very similar. And... Okay, so Lythiris, I need you to make a con save as your plate metal half plate begins to heat up incredibly, and you take 7 damage.
A con save.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not right. 17.
Okay, you're good. So you will not have disadvantage, and you need to make a decision as well on what you'd like to do with the armor you're wearing, because it is hotter than shiz.
Let's see.
It's like smoking.
I'll keep it on.
Okay.
It's sweaty for a little while.
All right. And again, they just kind of hover, cackle, go about their business. One of them circles down toward Harlow, because Harlow is the furthest into the room.
I give them the finger.
And it's going to fly down and attempt to engage you in melee. And so it's going to make an attack roll with its claws. Is a 15. Find purchase.
Just meets.
Okay. Six damage. 5 slashing and 1 fire.
Fire doesn't hit me.
Okay, that's right. Yes, so 5 damage. Nice catch. Sorry about that.
Nope, it's okay.
Okay, so you take some rending damage. You feel your material of your clothing torn. You feel this hot yet not painful burning claw kind of rending into you as this little creature gets down and goes after you. Lythyris, you are up.
Real quick, I kind of zoned out for half a second. Did I take any damage with my con save?
7.
7, thank you. I thought
Yep.
so.
Yep.
7 damage. 7 dabblage. Oh wait, that was wrong. I healed myself. I need to take damage. There we go. Okay. So there's 2 in the air and 1 near Harlow.
Yes.
All right, take a
Actually,
big
there's
old.
three
Oh,
in
right.
the air and 1 near Harlow.
Right, because there's 4.
Yep.
Okay. Take a big old swing at the one near Harlow. With
Okay.
Sunder.
With Sunder, yeah, you're able to easily get in there and swing away.
Okay, that is. Come here, you darn thing, you. There we are. That is a 20, but not a natural 20.
Okay. That's a hit.
Okay. Damage. Let's see. 9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
Wow, nice hit. Okay, so yeah, you take a chunk out of this thing and it squeals and howls and little globs of this molten rock, hit the floor and fly through the air, and it's just all kinds of nasty. Any further action or movement you'd like to take in your round?
Let's see. Yes, I would. Probably not a great idea, but I'm going to use Hammering Horns as a bonus action to try and push it 5 feet away.
Okay.
Let's see, the creature must be no more than 1 size larger, within 5 feet.
Definitely not.
Needs to succeed a DC 14 strength save.
Nat 20.
Ah,
So you try to move it away, and it just holds its ground, surprisingly strong. As you just kind of, you go to move it, and it just doesn't move, which seems odd because it's in the air, fluttering and flying, and it just, by some, I don't know if it's magical means or it's just badass strong, but it does not move.
all right, that takes up everything I have, really, I think.
All right, very good. Harlow, you are next. You have a creature in front of you that just took a pretty solid blow from Lythyris and his axe. There are 3 airborne yet.
I am, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Hexblade's Curse on one of the ones that's still in the air. And on the one that's right in front of me, I'm going to hit it with my rapier.
Nice. Okay. Do your thing.
That's a 17 plus 7, so I'm assuming
That's
I
a
hit.
hit. That's a hit.
There's my d8s too. I actually haven't done martial combat in quite a while. Been hitting everything from far away. I'll use this one. This is what I like.
Haven't ever done martial combat in this campaign.
12 damage.
Okay, 12 damage. So you hammer this thing with your rapier. You just run it through, and it squeals, and globs of the magma are dropping off of it and flying in the air. You pull your rapier out, and it's warm to the touch, right? It conducts that. This thing is in bad shape, but it is still up. It's fluttering. It's having trouble staying aloft.
We got a sub from Gem Song RS, so that's
Thanks, Jim Song RS.
that's a divine advantage for us.
Man, nice. Glad to have you. Thanks for joining us. Little D&D tonight. Okay. Anything else, Harlow?
Let's see. Going back, I'm going through my stuff here right now. No, I'm good.
All right. So we're going to move now to Lyalla. It's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep my armor on and just tough it out. So I am. I think I'm gonna cast because they're not in There's only one that's in melee, and that's with Harlow, right?
There's 1 in melee, 3 are still aerial. And the one in melee with Harlow is looking pretty ragged.
I'm going to target the ones that are still aloft. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on one of the injured ones up top.
Okay. Okay, each of the 2 of the 3 have taken damage from Flint and her longbow.
All right. So that is a wisdom save they need to make. DC 15.
Okay. So does a successful save no damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't seem to notice any effect on your quarry as you
Well, in that case, I am also, for my bonus action, going to cast Spiritual Weapon. Yeah.
Nice.
Since
What form does your weapon take, Lyalla?
This time it's going to be a great sword.
Nice.
Yeah. Since that can actually get aloft and hit some of those up there.
Yeah. So describe for the group, for the viewers, for all of us, when you go through this process of summoning your spiritual weapon, what do we see and hear? What does the weapon look like and do?
So she's kind of muttering to herself, calling up one of Tritherion's signature weapons, which is a great sword. And her hands are kind of doing the movement. And you've seen anime, it's kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But fantasy. The great sword, it's pretty simplistic in nature. It looks almost like your run-of-the-mill great sword, but it's got the symbol of Tritherion, which is a triskelion in the pommel.
Awesome. So this huge greatsword manifests itself, casting further light into this dark, dank cavern beyond what's been provided by the torchlight. And you can see the reaction of these creatures, like kind of shocked and stunned that the greatsword has, manifested itself and is floating with them.
And you said I have disadvantage on my attacks, right? Since I'm keeping my armor on.
Correct.
Okay. So we're gonna try swiping at one of the injured ones up top again.
Would the sword have a disadvantage?
The sword actually acts as its own thing, if I
Yeah.
understand spiritual weapon correctly. So no, that would not apply. Good catch, Pavel. Thank you.
Nice.
Cool. So let me just do a straight roll. That's a natural 18 for a total of 25.
That's a good hit. Nice, good hit.
So that will be 7 points of force damage.
Okay, very nice. So you see the sword take a swipe at one of the previously injured creatures, and it screams and tries to avoid it, but no success as the sword just cuts through the molten stuff, and things drip out of the sky and land on the floor, the molten lava, and immediately begins to cool. And it's weird because you can see little glops of this molten magma that have fallen and cooled on the floor. But this thing is still, flying and doing its thing.
Let me correct myself because I forgot that it also includes my ability modifier, which is wisdom. So that's actually going to be a total of 12 points.
Of damage?
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Good. Still up. Still looking, reasonably healthy. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
That will be the end, yes.
Very nice. Pavel, you are next.
Now, those three are still right up there, right?
Yeah, they're basically kind of equidistant, maybe 15 feet from the entrance of the cavern. Harlow's probably a good 10 feet in. Lythyris is there with her. Lyalla has entered the cavern. Flint has entered the cavern. You're kind of the last one in the doorway. And they are probably a good 15, 20 feet into the cavern.
Okay.
Except for the one that's with Harlow right there in front of her.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot the furthest one into the cavern.
Okay.
With bursting arrow.
Okay. And we'll say that's probably the one that's unharmed.
Yeah.
Okay, there are two. Unless you wish to hit one of the ones that is harmed, feel free to make that choice at your attack.
They're all going to get hit. That's what bursting arrow does.
Nice.
So that's a natural 19 plus 9. So that's going to hit. Now, that one and all the enemies within 10 feet are going to take 2d6 damage.
Okay. So I'm going to give you that on the aerial guys. So you'll be able to get all three.
Oh, yeah. No,
aerial.
I knew it was
one down below is going to be a little bit outside your range there, but it's still cool.
Yeah, if it was going to hit the guy in the doorway, it was going to hit Flint too, and I wasn't going to do that to her. That's going to be 8 points of damage.
And is that your total? To all three?
Yeah, to all three. Do any of them...
go ahead.
Do any of them go down?
Nobody goes down. They've all now taken damage.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that looks to be in really bad shape, and that's the one in front of Harlow. The initial one that Flint attacked, we'll say creature number 1, is definitely bloodied, if you will. It's down.
Cool.
Not down as in down, but it's down in hit points.
Yeah. And that's one of the ones that's focusing on heat metal, correct?
It was trying to, but it is no longer able to concentrate because it has taken damage 3 times.
Is one of the other ones also doing that?
Yes. But it too has been injured, and so it can no longer concentrate on its spell, if I understand spellcasting correctly.
Well, concentration, I think, requires a con save to maintain concentration.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it has to either meet half the damage taken or DC 10, whichever's higher.
Yep. Which I believe for all of this would be DC 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one still concentrating. One not. I'll just go even odds to see who it is. And Lyalla, you're still pretty toasty.
I'm going to action surge and take my -5 plus 10 to shoot that guy.
Okay.
So that's a 15 plus 4, dirty 19.
That'll do it.
And that's going to be a D8 plus 15. 20.
Okay, so that one just implodes, explodes, and magma and molten rock blast around the cavern, and it's gone. It's gone.
Was either one of those the one that I had Hexblade's curse on?
I think you were going after the one right in front of you, were you not?
No, I cast Hexblade's curse on one of the aerial ones that I haven't touched yet.
Okay. I would say that's gone. That would be the primary dude who was able to make his save. He was kind of the strongest and initial attacker, and he is the one who is down.
Oh,
I
and
get
I'm
my,
gonna nod at
HP back then.
Lyalla. Like, got you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Lyalla, you will begin to feel your armor slowly cool. I mean, it's hot, but what were you saying, Harlow?
No, when my target with Hexblade Curse dies, I get 8 HP back, so I'm back up to full.
Okay. Nice. That's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be my turn. I have nothing I can do on a bonus action that would be worth doing, because none of that stuff was bonus action, so.
Nice.
Crazy. Just a killing machine.
Yay, fighters.
Okay. So that wraps up Pavel. After Pavel, there's one more remaining monster who has not done its thing. And it was the one that was kind of in the back, and it rushes forward. And it is going to... I want to look at my cavern here. You guys are all kind of... It's about a 10-foot wide chute, this end of the room, and it opens to the east. And they're between you and where the cavern really opens up. So you're all kind of funneled into about a 10 to 15 foot, almost like a funnel, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I need you to do, if you would please, each of you make a dex save.
21.
15.
17.
Oh,
This is a
19.
DC 11. Okay.
I think, yeah, switched on me. It's 11 exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and it was a DC 11 dex save. So each of you are going to take half damage as this thing opens its mouth and just unleashes this blast of fiery heat with its breath weapon, and you each take 3 points of fire damage.
Cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, except
So
Harlow.
Except Harlow, who
You
is
favorite thing.
apparently immune to fire damage.
Come at me,
It's-
bitches.
It's nonsense how good that magic item is this early in the campaign. I mean,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah, your
said
DM
it's in the book, right?
Yeah, it's in the DM's guide, and the DM might have gotten a little excited with that magic item and said things before he really read it thoroughly. And so you are the benefactors of that gaffe. Okay,
I'm
so we're back to the top of the order. Monster 1 is down. Flint, you are up. You have 2 aerial and 1 on its apparent last legs in front of Harlow.
Right. So I'm going to use my bonus action to move my hunter's mark from the dead one to the one that was next to it that I had hit as my second attack. And I'm
Yep.
going to try and hit him.
Go ahead.
That's going to be a 16 to hit.
That's a hit.
Yes. And that's going to be 11 damage.
Twice.
Okay. 11 damage. Very nice. So you
And
take a chunk out of this thing, but it's
And then
still
I'll
up.
use my horde breaker to get the one next to him because no one is safe.
Right.
Oh, that's natural one. That's that's not gonna hit.
So nada. Yeah. Okay. Now you took a chunk out of this one up there, but it's still up.
All right, that's my turn then.
Looking ragged, but still up. Okay. He looks down in your direction, and all of you need to make a dex save. DC 11.
Ooh, 6.
16.
17.
14.
1.
Oh,
No. But if it's fire damage, you're still safe.
So another of these creatures inhales deeply, and almost this little mini kind of roar of a breath weapon immolates the group. And Lythyris, you're going to take 6 damage. Anybody who saved will take 3, and Harlow, you will take 0 thanks to the Mask of the Red Dragon you were sporting. You're digging that, aren't you?
No, I love it.
Okay, you see the third one focus its attention on the archer, kind of the one furthest back on Pavel, and it begins to. And Flint, you hear the words heat metal. Pavel, I need you to make a con save.
17.
Okay, so you feel your gauntlets.
Sorry, 19.
Okay, you feel your gauntlets heat up, right? And you take 3 points of heat damage.
All
as your
right.
gauntlets are hotter than the bejesus.
God, but Jesus.
It's pretty hot.
But Jesus.
And these things are, swooping, and almost picture like magma will-o'-the-wisp. They're swinging in and swooping and, trying to be all clever, and they're, cackling at you and cursing you in some language that only Flint understands partially. Let's go to Lythyris. There are 2 aerial. One is significantly damaged. And then there's one really in bad shape right there in front of, in melee with Harlow.
Let's see. Oh, I can't do that. What the hell? Gonna throw a javelin at one of the flying ones.
Okay. Do you want to hit the one that's been hacked at pretty good, or the one that's only gotten hit once?
I will hit the one that's only been hit once. All right. So I'm going to pull out my javelin and real quick just start just yelling up a storm in Goblin at them.
Okay.
Oh my god. 6. That's only 10 to hit.
Okay. So it deftly avoids the javelin, and Flint, you hear something about horse ass, cow face, prick, cackling and yelling at the Minotaur as it misses.
Oh, does Flint know Goblin?
It's not speaking Goblin.
I'm sorry. I thought
It's speaking a form of
talking
Terran.
about me. My bad.
Yeah, Flint understands. So if she wishes to pass that along, she's more than welcome to.
Gotcha.
I don't want to hurt his fragile feelings.
Yeah, you don't come after our Minotaur like that. We're gonna murder.
You don't come after
Okay.
our sweet boy.
Anything else with yours?
I whiffed it pretty bad, so as a bonus action, gonna rage. More goblin, just shaking my fist at the sky.
Okay.
I do like the
What are
fact
you
that
gonna
you're
do?
yelling at these things in Goblin, not knowing if they can talk in Goblin at all.
Right.
Exactly.
What are you doing with your rage? Anything? That's it? You've just switched into rage mode?
Yeah, I can't really do anything else.
Okay.
Because
But
rage is
all
my
your
bonus
actions are
action.
done.
Yeah,
Very good. Okay.
just rage.
Very nice. After Lythyris comes our friend the Warlock. Harlow, you're up. Look at that evil grin.
I'm gonna take another swipe at the guy hitting me.
Very good.
That's a 17 again. Nice.
Murder.
It's a good hit.
Murder.
Right, so do. There's what I want to use. These are rolling well for tonight. I'll use that set. Not so great. 6 damage.
Okay, very good. As you do this, it goes down, much like the one that Pavel hammered with that beautiful bow shot. And when it does, it explodes much like the other one. and you and Lythyris, because you two are kind of engaging it in melee within 5 feet, no one else is really within 5 feet, are sprayed with hot magma. And so you see this. Describe the scene for us, Harlow. Lythyris, I need you to make a DC 11 dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
What I would be doing is I would just come down with the rapier right through it, hit it right here, and just take it right in half. Split it.
Okay. Yeah, so sparks and it just boom, and all this magma just blows everywhere.
I have the
Oh,
4,
this is-
y'all.
That hurt me because meta knowledge, I knew what those were, but I couldn't tell you
Yeah.
about that bit.
Yeah.
Well, we remember from last time that they exploded.
So, Lythyris, you have taken 5 damage.
True.
Fire.
Yeah, we killed one.
Excellent.
Nice, right? Okay, so 2 are down.
Feels real good.
2 are aerial. Harlow, anything else?
No, I got nothing else.
Very good.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna move a little bit farther into the room. Actually, probably about 20 feet.
Okay. So you'll be basically kind of behind where they are. You'll be as far into the room. Again, the room is about kind of 50 feet deep, diagonal to the northeast.
Oh, okay.
Or to the east, excuse me. And so you're kind of behind where they are now. You're on the other side of these creatures. 2 of them are aerial.
Oh, okay. Probably not 20 feet then. Probably about 5.
Okay. Okay, very good. So you've got 2 left, and we are down to Lyalla. It is your turn.
All right. I am going to use my spiritual weapon and target the one that is focused on Pavel.
Okay. And you can easily, again, see the spell casting, the focus.
Yeah. So that's a natural 15, total of 22.
Okay, that's a hit. Hit me with some damage.
So this is going to look like the sword's kind of turned sideways, so I'm hitting it with the flat of the blade, like trying to squish it like a bug on the ceiling. And that's going to be another 12 damage.
Okay. So you whap it with the flat of the blade. It's going to make a save and fail. So Pavel, your gauntlets, you can tell they're no longer heating up. They're no longer scorching. They're hot, but I would immediately tell that this thing must have lost its concentration as it gets smoked by the flat blade of the greatsword. You can, magma's like, splats off of it and so forth.
And then my regular action, I am going to. I'm gonna cast. No, guiding bolt overkill. Let's do Toll of the Dead again on him.
Okay.
So it's a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Okay. So you see it kind of like cringe and this sort of thing.
Did we lose the boss?
Uh-oh.
What kind of damage are you talking about here? I'm here. You here?
Your
Yeah.
audio's here. Your visual's not.
There we go.
Wait,
Oh.
there we go.
You good?
You're back now.
Okay.
All good.
Hit me with some damage.
Okay. Since he's already damaged. Oh, that's going to be 10 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. It's looking rough, and it comes down, starts kind of descending. It's having trouble flying. And I did paste an image in the Discord, Wiley Discord, so if you want to see what you're doing battle with here.
Mhm.
Anything else, Lyalla?
Ew.
No, that's it.
Okay. So you've got... we're down to, one rough-looking dude who's, trying to make its way, descending. And Pavel, you're up.
Oh, poor guy. I don't really feel bad, but I'm going to do my -5 + 10. And that's going to be a 17. I love being able to roll under 10 and still hit.
That's nice. Yeah, that's a hit.
So it's going to be
And
D8 plus 15.
describe for me how you take down the final of these creatures.
I do want to roll my damage first, just to see.
Just because it's fun.
All right, another 20 damage.
Damn.
Yeah.
On a
you
regular
absolutely
hit.
vaporize.
Yeah. So as I hear the battle going on, I'm gonna push my greaves up against the cool wall of the cavern for a second, shake my hands, draw an arrow, and sort of what's it called? Thread the needle between the groups, between everyone in front of me, and just right in the face.
And it's still elevated, and you could tell it was making its move down to the party, but it wasn't its turn, so it didn't get real far, and it explodes, and falling harmless in front of you to the cavern floor are globs and splops of this magma as the chamber grows silent except for the sizzling and crackling of cooling molten rock on the floor. The smell of sulfur is strong in the air. The dampness has almost been somehow dried or reduced thanks to the heat generated in the chamber by these magma methods.
I hate methods.
I'm just kind of like pulling at my armor a little, kind of, trying to get some cool air to go down. It didn't really hit my skin because there's like a quilted padding that I wear underneath my chainmail, but that you can kind of see like the black scorch marks.
Yeah. It was a toasty little battle you guys just endured.
We really need to find
Lythirus is even more smelly because now he smells like burnt hair among everything else.
Nice.
Also, side note, didn't realize I have advantage on dexterity saving throws. I have to remember that.
Good to know. Good to know now.
A little too late, but
Right. Okay, so we are dropping out of initiative. You're free to move about. You're in a cavern again. The first 20-foot depth of this 50-foot deep cavern is about 10 feet wide, kind of 12 feet wide, about 15 feet wide. And then at about 20 feet in, the room is emptying, straight in, which is due east. And there's a long wall that goes about 40 feet wide once you get in about 20, 30 feet. And on that east wall, it's weird. It's like there's these weird diagonal streaks of some blue mineral, maybe a quartz sort of you can catch it off your torchlight, glinting.
How thick are these streaks?
Just like spidery, thin. They maybe well less than half an inch.
Okay. Are they regularly patterned at all, or pretty random?
Seems random. Okay. It's just kind of cool looking, kind of spidery through there. Some of them cross each other. Some of them run, curvilinear, following creases and cracks in the stone. It looks, especially if you approach the wall and bring your torch to it, they twinkle and glitter, and it just looks cool as hell.
Mm. Okay.
To your left, which would be to the north, situated on the northern wall, is a white marble archway. It's about 10 feet wide, 10 feet high. The marble is engraved with kind of some strange runes along the top, and some arcane symbols up and down its columns, right? So the runes,
I would
is written.
Very much like to go inspect that.
Okay. It looks like they've actually carved some stone steps into the floor that take you up to a platform with this really odd construction. And the dais that this sits on is almost 10 feet deep. And it's wedged up into this northern little alcove, which is about 15 feet wide.
Okay. I want to look at the inscriptions. See if they are related to any of my known languages, Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, or Elvish, or if they look like Gnomish, because I have that book of Gnomish.
Right, and Gnomish shares Dwarven characters, so
Right,
if you
yeah.
could read Dwarven, you could read it. However, nothing seems to be recognizable to you, given your deep inventory of linguistic skills.
Okay.
If you would make an Arcana check for me, and I would give you advantage on this because of your background and your skills.
Okay. Arcana is going to be a 22.
Okay. So you see Pavel, studying, thinking. He might even walk away, clear his mind, come back. And after a few minutes of this, and you're able to read the runes.
Okay.
And the runes say, and this is the runes above the archway there. It says, "Sel Dortz knows the way."
That was in something we have already. What was in that? That was in the note that Gnome had, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was in one of the books, I think.
It was in the Gnome's book, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're heading in the right direction, guys. Now you said those are the runes, but there's like sort of arcane symbols as well.
Yeah, some sort of, magical. You believe them to be symbols of some magic.
I'm going to take out a piece of parchment and a piece of charcoal and do like a rubbing.
Yeah.
Just for, roll them up, stick them in one of Old Bill's packs.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll take a look at those later. But yeah, I say Seldortz knows the way, guys. That's what that gnome had information on. So
it was the note said Seldortz will show the way to Zelligar.
Well, I mean, at least we're in the same vein now.
Yeah.
So
they're all pointing basically signs are all kind of pointing the same direction.
Yeah. Whatever Seldortz is, it's important. So shall we go through?
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. I will take.
Now it's an archway against a stone wall, so it doesn't go into anything.
Oh.
But you're on this dais, and it's an archway against the back of this alcove. Sorry if that was unclear. So it's just, and it's amazing because you know how undulating and crevices, and it looks like this white marble has been carved to fit tightly into all the fissures and contours of this wall.
Hey Wiley, would you do me a quick favor? Would you type Seldortz into the Discord real quick so I
can do it. I've got it spelled.
Okay, cool. I just don't remember how it spells. How it is spelled.
There you go.
Spelled.
You got it? Okay.
Yep. Seldortz knows the way is what's inscribed on this archway.
This is...
And what is... so I have Pavel over here. What else is everyone else doing as he's over here looking at this? And he says aloud, you hear him say, Seldortz knows the way.
I've been trying to cool off.
I have been looking at the pretty blue spider things on the wall. Just standing there, staring at a wall, pretty much.
That archway, I'm going over it looking for anything that's unusual. Cracks, holes, key, things.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All that stuff.
Why don't you hit me with an investigation roll, please?
Uh, 14.
Okay. So again, you notice as you look at this archway, it's carved from beautiful white marble. You see the runes, you see the symbols down the pillars of the archway. You see, the steps have been carved nicely into that floor. You're on the dais with, I presume, Lyalla's there, with Pavel. And again, you also notice that it seems like that marble archway and the columns were carved so precisely to seal against the wall. You're not sure if they seal to the wall or the wall seals to them because they're embedded in the wall. It's such an amazingly tight, well-crafted bit of stonework and marble work.
Is the void of the arch, is that regular stone or is that more marble?
The entire arch and the columns are marble, and they are, three-dimensionally off the wall. They're not flush.
Okay. Why would a wizard of no small talent, a wizard who has created, basically teleportation devices, have a blank arch in a room like this?
That's a very good
I've heard
question.
of portals.
But,
Look
yes,
over from my wall staring. Maybe it's one of those maybe like cast magic at it and then it turns into a door. My mom told me about those. Those exist, right? She wasn't lying to me.
I'm sure they exist. I don't see why your mom would lie to you.
No.
Yeah, she's not a liar.
No.
Excuse me.
I sort of look at Harlow like,
I'll reach out and see, I don't know. I'm gonna cast I don't know whether I should cast Mage Hand and touch it, or cast Ray of Frost and touch it at it, because one's hitting it with magic, one's just kind of touching it. So I'm not quite sure. Depends on what Wiley thinks.
Let's try the ranged first, just in case, you touch it and something happens.
All right,
you can do whatever you want.
And I'll hit it with Ray of Frost.
Glad I could help. Okay. So describe for us how your spellcasting of this Ray of Frost, it's verbal and somatic. So tell us about that.
So I'll just say an infernal cold day in hell, and I'll reach out and just a white line of just frost, like smoking frost, like when you see dry ice, kind of doing that whole thing, just out towards it and hits it, just.
Yeah. So you see this, right? She says her cold day in infernal hell. Is that what she said? Cold day on hell in infernal. Yeah. So whoever speaks infernal caught that. The rest of you just heard some guttural, nasty, angry-sounding utterance.
I snicker when I hear it.
This bluish-white light hits the cavern wall, and frost splays, and it immediately begins to cover the area in frost, and little icicle chips and things, bounce off of it and hit the floor. So it's having an effect that you would assume a Ray of Frost would have on a stone wall.
But nothing else.
Nothing else appears to be happening, no.
Oh yeah, that didn't do anything.
guys, I think I figured it out. Sel Duerts, definitely just an anagram for Les Stroud of Survivor Man, the popular Canadian television show.
Nice.
No.
Are you sure? I mean, he is a character from a children's book about him being outdoorsy. I mean, just
he was right. He was a naturalist, a ranger.
Yep,
he wrote
exactly.
What did he write? He wrote a book about outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Les Stroud, I'm telling you.
Can I do a nature check on the rocks surrounding this area to see if I notice any like hidden buttons, hidden triggers, hidden anything?
Yeah,
Okay, that's 18.
Yeah, your knowledge of stone and understanding of, especially, you're a little bit more in your element here because this is a natural cavern. It's not the worked stone of the upper level. And it just looks like what you would expect to be in a cave underground. It's, it seems in places a little porous, chipped, cracked, fissures, irregular. You wouldn't, it'd be great for scratching your back on. Doesn't look like there's the seam of a doorway or a knob or a button or anything. And you feel pretty comfortable based on your knowledge of stone and your Terran roots that, man, if there's some kind of hidden door here, you're confident you would see some sign of it.
Gonna sigh disgustedly and just mutter wizards. Ugh.
I'm not sure.
Wizards don't do things like this for no reason. But I feel like that pretty crystal that we messed with upstairs, there's some trick to this probably.
Are all of you like up here looking at this thing now?
I am now.
Yeah. It's gotten quiet in there. Pavel had his little epiphany. He said the phrase. Everybody's kind of like, damn it, what is going on?
So the runes are on the arch above us?
Yes, and that's where the message Pavel, I'm sure, would have pointed out, Seldortz knows the way, it was written.
Okay. I'm going to reach up and just touch it. Touch them. Because I'm pretty sure I have that reach, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easily. It feels much like worked cold white marble. I'm not sure what white feels like, but it does feel like cold worked marble.
It's a really stupid idea. It's probably nothing.
Gonna sort of lean against the stone inside the arch, like, I don't get it.
Okay, I'm going to take out a dagger. I'm gonna cut my finger, and I'm gonna touch the rune again, just to see.
So you're gonna smear some blood on the marble?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see the Minotaur cut his finger and smear some blood on the archway, and now there is blood on the archway.
Classa.
And the Minotaur has a cut on his finger.
I was thinking of doing that too. It's okay.
Is there anything else in this room besides the archway and the gem sort of whatevers?
Right, the diagonal streaks and so forth. Yeah, there's some piles of what appears to be freshly molten rock back over near the entrance in various random places. Weird.
That's all I got. I mean, magic's y'all's wheelhouse.
I've never heard anything of like a magical doorway like this, right? No, probably not.
It's guarded by fire things. Maybe fire? Has something to do with it?
It's a nether portal from Minecraft.
What level spell slots? What's your highest level spell slot, Pavel?
Huh? Who?
What's your highest level spell slots? Don't you have mage spells?
I have none.
Oh, I thought you did. I'm sorry.
No, all my magic is not spells.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just arrows. I cast arrow.
Nice.
Arlo, do you have any fire other than Hellish Rebuke?
I don't have that because the type of tiefling I am, actually. I actually don't have any fire magic at all.
Ooh.
I've got Sacred Flame, but that's more radiant damage than
Yeah,
damage.
that's fake fire.
Well, we could light a torch.
I mean, we have a lit torch.
We have a lit torch. That's very true.
Harlow, roll me an Arcana check. And I will give you advantage as well based on your arcane, albeit different from wizardry, but based on your arcane studies and background and your nobility.
Double 17s.
Double 17s. That seems decent. Is that after modification?
I'm not proficient, so I never added anything.
Okay, very good. You feel like, as you're looking at the rune, or not the runes, the symbols, right? you feel like it seems to you that you're seeing some symbols associated with a particular school of magic,
Ooh.
which would be conjuration.
Okay.
And something Pavel said a few moments ago caught your ear.
Wasn't that crystal also conjuration upstairs?
I slept with Mage Hand. It's
Slap it.
conjuration.
So what are you slapping with Mage Hand?
The everything.
Yeah,
Wall,
okay.
arch.
So there's the sound of this, arcane hand slapping the wall.
Mage Hand's having a slap fight with the wall.
Yeah, and nothing is apparently happening.
I don't have any conjuration spells.
Me
But
neither.
Pavel mentioned something about teleportation and referring to Zelligar as a wizard who dabbles in teleportation. And you recall that teleportation is in the school of conjuration.
Okay. I did my smack with the hand, and now I'm gonna go look outside the door.
Just the iron door you came in?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's nothing out there. Just the cavern you guys walked through to get
Same
here.
as before. Okay.
Yeah, nothing's changed. The door's still there. The molten rock is still kind of smoldering, little wafts of smoke rising. Still very strong sulfurous smell in the room.
Of course, I fill everybody in on what's going on. That it's a conjuration magic, something to do with teleportation, yada 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 yada.
So, I mean, if I were a wizard, sort of shadow passes over my face for half a second. If I were a wizard and I
Yes.
wanted to keep my private areas safe, yeah, okay, calm down.
Sorry, your cleric is 12.
My private chambers.
Still.
safe. Yeah. This is my red room. If I wanted to keep my stuff safe, I would make it only accessible to me via a enchantment of some sort, a magical door that links two places, I don't know, there's a number of ways I can think of just off the top of my head that you could secure a room or a chamber from intrusion.
Do we still have that book? The one that the Zelligar book?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take it out.
Pavel, make me, based on, you've said some things and Harlow said some things and you're building on, you're kind of, okay. Hit me with an Arcana at advantage, Pavel.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Nice.
So based on what you've said, you feel like there's got to be something to do with teleportation, maybe protecting or leading to, his chamber or something amazing or something. And your sense is that there's got to be a way to activate.
That's my cat's tail.
Okay. I see now.
It is
There's
attached to this.
yeah, nice. There has to be a way to activate. Like, it would make sense what you're saying, but there's got to be a way to somehow activate the teleportation. And your sense would be that anything up in this area, if it were activated,
Would be noticeable.
anything that's in this area is probably what would be teleported.
I'm going to pull out that book, the book that references Seldorts. I'm going to see if I'm going to do a quick skim through there and see if there's anything that references teleportation or travel or something like that.
Sure. So you had the books. And are you looking at the outdoor survival book written by Seldorts in Gnomish?
Yes.
Okay. Or are you looking at the Gnome's diary that mentions Seldorts?
I'm gonna I'm gonna quickly reference that, see if there's anything more about him. But I'm gonna do like I'm gonna look at the guys and say, I think that I don't know that this will be a short thing. Maybe we should take a break here and hang out for a little bit while I look through these books.
Yeah, if you would like to take a short rest.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
To do whatever things you'd like to do. That'll give Pavel a chance to do some reading. Looking through the journal with the gnome, you rediscover what Lyalla recalled that was written by the gnome. Seldorts will show the way to Zelligar. Yeah, there was this phrase written in there in that diary. So while we're short resting, it feels like now would be a natural time for us to actually take an actual break.
Okay.
So why don't we do that? Is it 5 minutes? Is that how that rolls, or 10?
5 minutes.
5 minute break. All right, so we're going to do that. Corey's going to throw us into break mode. I bet if we ask him really nice, he'll set up the raffle. So when we come back, he'll raffle off his award-winning Pulitzer Prize, noteworthy
Nobel
writing,
Peace Prize winning.
DMing and parenting and children and stuff. Okay, so let's go to break. We'll see you in 5. Our party is frustrated. They're a little melty. They're a little sooty and sulfury and sweaty. And they're confronted with a conundrum. Solid rock.
Don't worry. The power of reading will save us.
Okay.
Who needs to read when I just pray?
So what did everyone do on the short rest? Like, as far as, did anybody roll hit dice?
Yeah, I rolled a hit dice.
Yeah.
I did too. I rolled 1.
Yeah, I rolled 2 hit dice. I'm up to full health.
I didn't do
Excellent.
anything. I just stretched.
Yeah, I'm back to full health as well.
Okay. So you're reading, Pavel. And Pavel, the party had found a book in the actually in the closet in the kind of in Zelligar's upper chambers. And one of the books was entitled Outdoor Survival. It was written in Gnomish, so Pavel, understanding Dwarvish, is able to read this because gnomes and dwarves share the same written characters. It's a collection of short stories that features a prominent, probably the character that this guy is most well known for, All Fours, a ranger who is in all of these stories. It is Sel Dortz's magnum opus, his best known work, and All Fours is his best known character, the ranger. It's stories of his travails and his travels and his wily survivalist ways and all of the harrowing experiences he had.
All right.
Some believe the All Fours was kind of crafted after kind of an autobiographical character.
ALFOURS.
AULFORS, All Fours.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna scan through that book. Initially doing a quick pass, but then doing a more thorough search. Looking for references to teleportation or travel or maps or anything in that sort of vein.
Sure. It's all stories.
Or
it's all stories about All Fours.
Summoning,
yeah. It's all rangery naturalist stories. I mean, gosh, if you were to read any of this to Flint, Flint might feel like that was, her kind of stuff. She might actually take great interest in this. The author, Sel Dortz, a known naturalist. The story is all about survival and treks and harrowing experiences out in the wilds, spiritual experiences, things of that nature, all around this notion of naturalism, herbalism, rangerism, with the again, the character in every one of these short stories is this ranger named All Fours.
All Fours.
Are you saying that right now?
Yeah, I said that out loud.
Oh, okay.
Would I recognize that from any of the stories that my dad had told me?
A little bit kind of fuzzy, misty, sort of. Yeah. So as Pavel, you guys are all up there on the dais kind of talking and resting and all that sort of thing. And you hear Pavel say All Fours to himself. And Flint, you're kind of like, that's right. That name of that ranger, we talked about that earlier. And then you all get this weird sensation. Your vision begins to fade. And you feel this weird pressure and pops your ears. And you feel like you're being tugged, but from inside, from within, it's creepy. Picture like pulling a tapeworm out, kind of. It's a weird feeling. And all of a sudden, you're standing there in absolute blackness. Inky blackness. You can hear the breath of your fellow party members. You're not in there by yourself, but you don't know if the lights have gone out, if something's happened, but you felt these sensations.
Is most of us Would those of us with dark vision be able to see anything?
You're in a really, really dark, apparently some sort of chamber, but there's nothing in the chamber to give you any, you're not picking up anything that's throwing any heat. So it's very, very, very subtle shades of super dark, almost super dark, really dark, dark, and almost super really dark.
I'm going to reach down, grab one of the torches that I had hanging from my belt, and strike it.
Okay. Very nice. So you light a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see anything?
I
Your
look
eyes
around
adjust.
desperately for Bill.
Your eyes adjust. Nobody mentioned bringing Bill anywhere, so Bill is not
I knew it.
with you at the moment. You stand at the west end of a rectangular hallway, 25 feet wide, at least 40 feet long. Tough to tell, beyond the flickering light of your torch. Numerous statues are scattered about the room on the dusty floor of the hall, and it's odd because they're in a variety of poses and postures. At the far end of the hall, some 40 feet from you, there's a step that's as wide as the hall. And then it looks like the steps go up into the darkness beyond your torchlight. There don't appear to be any exits from the chamber.
So we're at the end of the chamber?
You're at one end of the chamber, yeah.
One end of the chamber. I turn around and I press myself to the wall behind me, shouting, Bill!
I mean, we can go back and get him. But, I'm sort of, stepping away from the wall as I say that, with a big shit-eating grin on my face because I'm really happy I figured it out. Yeah, we can go back.
Maybe we should take a look around before we start heading back. Bill should be fine.
If you look up and around, you're standing in front of, partially inside of, a marble archway that's very similar to the one you were just standing in front of, except now it's behind you.
Yeah.
Runes, so forth.
He won't be okay. What if he's in trouble?
Can I take a look at the runes, the markings on the archway, and see if it has the same message as the other one?
Again, looks very similar to the other ones. Yep, absolutely.
I'm going to sort of come back to my senses a little bit, put my hand on Lythiris' shoulder. We'll go back. We'll get him. And I face the archway. All fours.
Anything?
No.
Oh, shit.
It's like that crystal upstairs.
There must be a different way to go back.
Try maybe Seldorts?
Seldorts? No?
Oh, dear. Well,
Lythiris will find him, okay? We'll find a way back. If nothing else, this place will have something that will tell us how to get out, okay?
Remember, we found our way back to the room that we started in last time by wandering around. So maybe if we explore a little bit, we'll come across that room again.
You see, like a small, my body starts to gives a little shiver and a shake, and then I just slowly turn around. Fine.
So you're in this chamber, 25 feet wide, and you came in. There's the steps, the dais, right in the center of the west wall.
Yep.
Which is behind you. 40 feet plus deep.
I'm gonna walk down, but cautiously.
Okay.
We remember the statues at the beginning. They were not just statues. They were enchanted or something. They could attack. What do these statues look like? You said they were in varying different positions.
Sure. So let me give you some description here. Interior walls, smoothly hewn and finished, a little nicer than the upper level. Almost as if, well, it's hard to tell how they were carved, but it's nice. The floor is very smooth, but they're not flagstones, right? There's nothing set in the floor. They're just smooth. Dusty, some rocky debris and things here and there. The ceiling in this chamber is 20 feet plus. As you look at the statues, give me an investigation check.
Investigation is going to be 15.
Okay. As you move into the room, there's 9 statues in just what appears to be random locations inside this level of the room. And after about 45 feet, there's a step up and there's a statue on either end of that step by each wall. Again, 25 foot wide. Then another step up, 2 statues in a little bit. And then a final step up that goes to another wall, 4 statues along that step. So there are a total of, I believe that adds up to 17 if my math is good. And so as you inspect these statues, it occurs to you, Pavel, as you're looking at these, like these are all the same dude, right? About 6 foot 5 inches tall, very thin, weathered, gaunt, drawn features. From what you can tell, all of them are wearing these big, voluminous, if they were clothed, if they were actual fabric robes, they would be very heavy, very thick. A very, very angular nose, cheeks are kind of drawn in, and a protruding chin.
Are the ears pointed?
It's hard to tell because there's either a hood or the typical goofy wizard pointed hat that comes down over.
Is there any like familial resemblance to Lord Thanon?
Good question. How about everybody make a perception check?
$18.
30, 20.
23.
Also a dirty 20.
Okay.
13.
As you look and inspect, anybody 20 and up, you start to notice as you're looking at these statues that there's a JR. As you find one on, like inscribed on the kind of on the base of the statue. It's the same JR as you notice one, and then you notice another, and another, and another. And Flint, one of the statues you notice on the main floor does not have this. Does anybody have any masonry, any kind of crafting related to statuary, masonry? I'd even take metalworking.
Stoneheart did.
Yeah, we had Stoneheart still.
No, I have wood carver's tools, which isn't masonry.
All right, roll me.
I do have acid.
All right, cool. We could have a rave.
Yeah. Lythiris, roll me an intelligence.
This will be good.
I'm going to give you
I've been waiting for
DC8.
this moment.
A DC8 I want you to hit.
A DC8 intelligence.
This is like Sam Riegel rolling charisma checks right now.
Ooh, okay, let's go. Ha. Thank God. 14.
Okay. Your guess is that these initials, since they're the same on all the statues, your guess is they're probably what's known in the crafting trades as a maker's mark.
Ooh, a maker.
It's probably some symbol or insignia or initials of the person who sculpted the statues. Flint has found a statue with no maker's mark on it. One of the poses is, the person standing there like arms folded. Another one looks like they're in the midst of casting a spell, some kind. Another one's like reading from a huge, great tome. Another one looks like there's some kind of like a ball of fire or something that he's kind of holding up. Things of that nature. Kind of arms over their head. Various wizard-looking poses.
Hmm.
The one that Flint found so far with no maker's mark on it, the pose on that one is it looks kind of like awestruck, like shocked or surprised.
What direction is it looking in?
It's facing the west. It's facing the wall that you
Came in on?
Came in.
And that one doesn't have a mark. Surprised look on its face. Do we think this is someone that was petrified?
No, because they're all the same. Oh,
Right,
no.
but this one doesn't have the maker's
Yeah.
mark that Lytharis mentioned.
I'm gonna
So,
inspect like the base of this statue.
yeah.
Okay. Give me
Well,
a sorry, my brain just went completely dead. Investigation.
Natural 20.
Noise.
Okay. It's a statue like all the others. Robes. The whole chin. He's got a long beard. It's done up just like the others. Just the pose is unique to that statue, as each of the statues apparently is in a unique pose.
Is there a doorway out of this room that we saw?
It's all walls.
Okay, that's what I thought.
There's nothing obvious, doors, passageways, anything.
Can I cast detect magic as a ritual on this statue just to see if there's anything about it?
On this statue?
Yeah, the one that doesn't have the maker's mark.
Mm-hmm. So you'll spend, what is that, 10 minutes or an hour? What is it for a ritual?
It's 10 minutes plus the normal casting time, which is an action, so it'll take me 10 minutes.
Okay. So you see Lyalla get busy doing something divine looking, praying, holding her holy symbol. And so after 10 minutes, and this basically then gives you detect magic. Do you have to cast it upon an object, or is it the spell detect magic?
Know the presence of magic within 30 feet of me.
Okay, so it is the spell itself. Okay. So as you focus on the statue that does not have the maker's mark on it, it's a stone statue. There's nothing magical radiating off of this statue. Okay.
Okay. Is there any sort of magic within 30 feet of me that seems that I
And that's sort of in the middle of the room, right?
It's one of the statues that's in the main floor, yeah.
So I mean, it's a 40-foot long room. Basically, if the 30-foot radius should cover the whole room. So
yeah, I'll also kind of move around to try to hit every corner of the room.
One of the statues on the upper step emanates.
Okay, and what school is it?
Yeah, I'm getting on that here real quick. Okay. Doing some ciphering, if you will. Bear with me. I just want to make sure I get this right.
Yeah, no problem.
you love it when you can't find the information you need in the freaking campaign module? That happened to me the other day. It's
Yeah.
awful.
So anyway, one of the statues, there's 4 across that top step, and from the north wall, it's not the corner one, it's the next one in, and it's glowing. Shoot, sorry. I'm gonna go with transmutation.
Okay. And I'll relay that to the group. What kind of expression or pose does that statue have?
That statue, there's a staff in one hand, a wand in the other, and it's almost as if it's poised to attack. It's like in a tense mode.
Well, this one seems to have magic, you guys. Maybe you want to try to cast something on this one?
Something transmutation related.
Does anyone have transmutation?
Nada.
No.
Only transmutation spell I currently have that I'm prepared today is Magic Weapon, which isn't going to do us any good.
I sort of raised my hand a little bit. I mean, I know I used that sort of exploding arrow a lot, which I've based on the school of evocation.
Right.
I also have that, sort of ethereal arrow thing I can do. That I did create that formula from the precepts of transmutation. I mean, maybe.
Go ahead and shoot it.
Yeah, shoot it.
Worth a shot.
Okay, so
Certainly.
I'll walk down to the bottom of the steps, draw my bow, and you see the arrow start to flicker in and out of existence. It goes from like solid to almost like an ethereal, ghostly gray. And I fire, and it disappears from the bow, and then like there's a streak of silver light, and then it hits the arrow hits the statue.
Okay, so the arrow bursts upon the stone. Nothing.
Shit.
Well, at least we know that didn't. Maybe it's not magic. It's
Maybe it's like the arch is the trigger word for something to happen.
I'm going to look at it and go, Zelligar.
Nothing.
All fours, sell dorts.
Nothing at all.
This one sort of looks like it's attacking.
Yeah, it's in that mode. Like it has a staff, it has a wand.
Does this one have a maker's mark?
Yes. Yes, if you look at the rest of them, they all have maker's marks except the one you happen to notice.
Where is it in relation to the one with no maker's mark?
It's directly behind it against the wall all the way back.
Find it.
I'm going to run down to the one with no maker's mark.
Like
Lythiris, come here.
Yeah.
It's in a straight line behind it. That's what I mean by directly behind it.
I'm going to stand on this side, and I put my hand on the leg. You stand on that side and put your hands on the other leg and push.
Yeah.
I want to see if we can spin this.
Yeah, I like where this is going. I like this.
What are you trying to spin?
The statue. Like maybe it's...
Which one?
The one that looks like it's getting attacked. That's in a straight line.
Oh, I see. The one that looks surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a strength roll for me.
Yes.
I am going to take that advantage we got earlier.
Sure.
Use that because I want to.
Oh, hold on. Before you I'm also going to cast guidance on you. I'm going to touch your shoulder. You get a D4 to ability check.
Okay. Cool. I rolled a natural 20, but I'll take that. I love advantage. So that's going to be a 22 overall.
Okay.
I also have a 22.
Hey.
Okay, so you set to trying to rotate the statue with no maker's mark.
Yes.
Okay. It slowly grinds as you begin to turn it a little bit.
I call Flint. Lyalla, come help us. Harlow, you too.
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm right here anyways, so.
Alrighty. That's
So,
a
yeah.
21 for strength if I'm helping push.
I got it 18.
Okay. So once you get the aid of your colleagues, you begin to turn it more easily. It's still, this thing's a giant 6'5"
Yeah.
stone statue. And you begin to turn it.
Guess we're going to keep pushing till it's facing the other one?
Yeah, I want to line it up. Because you said it's sort of looking upward a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like surprised.
Yeah.
Or maybe awestruck, something like that. Like it's watching or seeing or reacting to something.
Yeah, so I want to line it up so it's facing the attack statue directly.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I gotcha. There is one statue right in front of the attacky looking statue. But you felt like if you were that statue in that position, once you get it flipped to 180 degrees, it could see the one up on the, in the attack position. So now they are facing each other.
Any reaction?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right.
We're in a room we can't get out of. We don't have Bill. There's got to be something about this statue that doesn't have a maker's mark and that statue which has magic.
All right, I'm
Lyalla,
gonna.
You got help from Tritherion before, right? Is there a chance that you could gain favor again?
I mean, I can always pray and ask, but
You have not long rested
yeah.
since your vision with Tritherion. I believe that was in your morning prayers this morning.
Yeah.
When you were still upstairs in the library.
No, I don't think I could try that again yet.
It's probably mid-afternoon now, based on how much time you've spent between getting to the room, fighting the mephits, figuring out the archway.
Yeah.
You're probably 3 o'clock.
I'm going to try something stupid because this is what I do.
I think that's all we have left anyways.
I'm gonna get to the top of the stairs, and I'm gonna get a running start, and I'm gonna thrust my entire body weight, all my strength, to that statue that looks scared and try to knock it over.
Okay. Make me a strength check.
And I'm gonna rage while doing this, so I have advantage.
Okay. Make it at advantage.
Oh, natural 20.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. So you hurl yourself against this big stone wizard edifice, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Damn it.
As it does not move. And you fall back on the ground, kind of, you scraped your face up, and you got a kind of, you're going to have a bruise right there. Owie.
So just to double check, the statues are face to face, right?
Well, they're
Like
not
they're
face
across
to
the room.
face. They're
There's-
facing one another.
There's
That's
one
what
in
I
the
mean,
About
like,
there's
direction.
15 feet between them.
That's what I mean, like they're facing each other like I'm facing you.
Yes, ma'am.
Face to face. Okay.
Yep. You got it.
Hmm.
Again, there's
Well-
4 on the upper pedestal, upper step, 2 on the next step, 2 against the walls on the bottom step, and then the remainder of them are the other 11.
It does transmutation.
9, excuse me, are on the floor of the main area.
And Flink got a natural 20 and still didn't move it.
Well, that's because I didn't exactly use tools. I have a better idea.
Okay.
I take some.
Side of her head.
It
Better idea.
dawned on me.
Hey, hit me, guys. I got a good one. I'm gonna take a length of rope and like sort of lasso the top of the statue around its neck and try to get Lythyris to help me and pull it so it topples over.
Sure, I could also push it because I'm taller than it.
We could do that.
I can help you pull.
Either which, I'll push it. I like that idea.
Let's roll some strength.
Before you do that, did any of us cast any transmutation magic at all?
I tried my arrow, but that's
Against what?
The one that's magical or that has magic on it.
What if you tried against that one?
I can't do it. I can't do any more today.
Hmm.
Lyalla, you said you can enchant your weapon with transmutation magic.
I can.
I mean, try it.
It's a transmutation spell.
Try slapping the two. It's
Okay.
worth a shot.
We don't really have much else at this. Should I do my axe or should I just go small and do the dagger?
I don't think you need to do anything crazy.
Let's go with the dagger. So I'll cast magic weapon on my dagger. And I'm going to jab at the one without the maker's mark first.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll.
Statue. Do you not one?
Yes, I did.
Against the statue.
Against the
So
statue.
yeah, your dagger, you're like, okay, man. And then you're like, skunk. And it scuffs off of it. And you like bust your knuckles against the stone and scratch them up. Son of a.
Okay. That didn't work out so well. Maybe I try the other statue first.
Just press the side of the blade into it. I don't think you necessarily need to stab it.
Okay. I'm just gonna touch the flat of the blade to the statue.
Okay. Nothing changes. You feel nothing. You sense nothing. It's still giving off. Now your dagger is giving off the same kind of wavelength or aura of the weave, the magics, same school.
And I'll go to the one without the maker's mark and do the same. Touch the flat of the blade to it.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right, back to plan. Tip it over. Come on.
Well, while they're doing that, can I go look at the wand in the hand? Does it look like the same wand that I have?
You can pull the wand you have out.
I mean, it's basically been shoved into like my shirt, sort of like a. Yeah. So I just sort of boop.
It doesn't really look the same diameter. The length is off a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's pull this thing down.
Okay, hit me with some strength rolls, please.
18.
Natural 20.
18.
Okay, so who all is doing this now? We've got a roper on the top of this thing. Describe for me how you're going about this, please.
Lyalla and I are pulling the rope that's lasted around its like scared expression and neck and everything, and Lythyris is like pushing from the other side.
Yeah, I have it by the shoulders area and I'm pushing it.
Okay.
All my might.
So as you do this, all the bases are round. So as it tips forward, you get the back end of it, right? You get it kind of tipping and it starts to roll. So hit me with some dex.
Dex check or dex save?
Dex check. And then describe for me how the rope wielders, I know Lythiris, you're pushing. How do Lyalla and Flint begin to navigate as the statue tips forward and starts to roll along the front edge of its round base?
What do you think? Maybe moving the opposite way it's rolling?
Yeah. Or like, cause I've just imagined like me holding one end of the rope, you holding the other, and we just kind of like straighten it out by like pulling each end at different ways.
Oh, so you don't have it tied around the neck. You have it looped over the back of the neck.
Yeah.
And so you're not next to each other. You're one side, the other side, and it's almost like a net.
That's what I had imagined anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So hit me with, instead of dex, hit me with contested strength.
All of us or just Lyalla and Flint?
Lyalla and Flint, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Do you not one again?
No, I got a 2 this time, so that's a 5.
Great.
Well, guess what? I got a 3. So
Can I wait?
Okay.
Can I
So
compensate for them? Is it too late?
This thing wobbles and it starts coming Lyalla's way. It's kind of rolling in her direction and falling forward. And it eventually starts to topple and falls to the stone floor with a crash. It goes just face down, an arm breaks off, the nose breaks off. You see cracks forming in the back of it as it just falls to the floor.
You probably just killed someone.
well, I feel better.
If it was petrified, though, if it was a petrified person, it should have given off like a magical aura to
Yeah.
dispel.
Is there anything under the base of the statue?
No, that would be convenient.
Yeah.
There goes my whole theory.
I'm gonna
Ready
do
now that
something
we've
that
trapped ourselves.
I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do.
Mhm.
I'm going to, and this is sort of away from what everyone else is doing. I'm gonna sit down, like on the top step next to the magic one, and I'm gonna take out a small little silver pendant. It's a pentagon with an eye in it, and I whisper to myself, Bakab, I haven't prayed to you in many years, but I feel I've done my best to live your example, search for truth and knowledge and things arcane. I'm stuck. I can't figure it out. We have no clues. We have no sense of direction.
Okay.
If I could ever ask one favor of you, it would be this.
Make me an Arcana.
That's going to be 13 plus 5, 18.
So you sit there and you go through your prayer, your ritual, and it takes you a little while to kind of recall how you were taught to pray. Because as you mentioned, it's been maybe a bit of time since you last did your business.
About a decade.
Yeah. And you think back to Kelthul and what was taught to you. And you finally kind of, okay, I remember what I need to do here. And you close your eyes and you all see Pavel just uncharacteristically sitting, thinking, focusing, holding a pendant of some kind, a silver pendant in his hand, kind of stroking that. And in your mind, you get this image. It takes a little while to form, right? It's kind of almost coming out of the darkness in your mind. And you get this image of a wizard pointing. You know, the fingers kind of crooked, and there's a book in his hand. And then it just kind of, it's like it's there, you got, and it's gone.
I stand up and look for a statue that is in that pose.
Okay. So you guys see Pavel all of a sudden like nap jerk or something. And he's up and he's looking around at the statues. And after a few moments, you notice there's a statue on the second stairway, second step, that's pointing at the west wall, and it's holding a book.
Is there anything written in the book on the pages?
Give me an investigation.
Give it to me. Nat 20.
The pages are smooth like the rest of the statue.
I hate you.
Aw. Aw. That's just rude.
Is there a specific point it is on the west wall it is pointing to?
It's just pointing straight ahead. But what's odd is you're looking this thing over. He's got his his finger, and he's got the book, and he's looking over to his left.
I want to follow his eyes. I want to see what he's looking at.
The chamber is 25 feet across, and it looks like he's looking at the wall. It's weird because he's facing west.
I'm gonna walk to the wall, to the part of the wall he's looking at.
Okay.
And I'm gonna investigate that wall.
Okay. Okay, so hit me with investigation.
16.
16, okay. As you turn to walk to the wall, a bolt of energy comes from somewhere behind you. And I would like you to take 3 points of damage as you're hit in the center of the back with actually 3. So 6 points of damage, 3 darts of some magical energy. Beep, beep, beep. And so as you guys are, wandering around the room, make perception rolls. The other 4 of you, roll perception for me. As all of a sudden you see this flash and blast of energy beams pound Pavel in the back.
17.
Natural 20.
23.
Okay.
That's a 17.
Okay. So all of you just happened to, be looking in the right spot at the right time. You got over the DC. That whatever that was just came from the back row near the far wall, from the area of that statue that has the magical aura about it. And I would like each of you to please roll for me initiative.
Fighting a statue. All right. Can we talk back, like point down to the one that we toppled and go, this is you next?
Dirty 20.
Same for Harlow.
What was it, Harlow? You kind of roboted.
Dirty 20.
Oh, nice.
22.
8.
4.
Oh my.
I got 2 dirty 20s. So, what did you say yours was, Flint? 22?
Yep.
Okay. Let's roll 20s again, Pavel and Harlow. I'm actually just going to let Harlow move ahead in the order because he's facing the statue. Your back is to it, and I think naturally it makes sense in the flow of things to go that route.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you've noticed is something has come from, these bolts of energy have come from this statue as it literally activates and moves toward the statue Pavel was looking at. And we are ready to go. Harlow, you have first action.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hexblade's Curse on it.
Yep.
And
Actually, I'm sorry. Flint has first go. She had the 22. My apologies.
Okay. What am I
Sorry about
gonna
that.
I guess I'm just gonna run up to it and take 2 whacks at it with my axes, because
Okay.
that's what I got going for me. Natural 20.
That's like a
Beautiful.
Oh,
6th or
Oh.
7th natural 20 this
Yeah,
session.
you guys are
Oh,
crushing
yeah.
hot
Oh,
in the
yeah.
20s.
oh yeah.
Okay, so you're going to roll double damage on that. That is quite obviously a hit.
That's gonna be 11 from 1 axe hit. And then the other one is going to be a 21 to hit.
Okay, so 11 and 21 is a hit.
And that's gonna be 6 damage.
So 21 and 6, by my math, is 27. Pretty good.
No, not 21 damage. It was
Or 21 to hit, it was 11.
Yeah, it was 11 and 6 for damage.
Sorry. So 17. Okay. Anything else from Flint?
Let's see. Nope, that's all I got right now.
Okay. Harlow, now you may go. Sorry about that.
that's okay. So bonus action is casting Hexblade's Curse. And I'm gonna hit it with an Eldritch Blast. So I don't think my sword would do much against stone. 16 plus 7, so I'm assuming I hit.
That's a hit. Please roll some damage. And this is force.
Yes. Oh wait, no, this is my sword, so it's piercing. 8 damage.
Okay. So both Flint and Harlow, as you do your thing and you enter melee and you start to engage this creature, you both feel like you made purchase good solid hits, and yet it doesn't feel like it's doing all it can damage wise. I mean, this thing is made of some dense hard stone and you're wailing on it, and even with your amazing attack roll there, Flint, it just, it feels like, man, this should be taking chunks out of this thing, and it doesn't seem to be doing what you thought it should do.
Did I say I hit it with my sword or with my rapier or with my Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast.
Okay, I would have done more damage, but that doesn't
Yes.
matter. Okay.
So hit me with your Eldritch Blast damage,
Oh,
because
okay.
it does matter. The weapon of choice matters.
Okay. Where's my D10?
Because you did say Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, okay. And I switched it because I'm foolish. That is 10 damage.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
For me, no.
Okay. Pavel, you've been hit by 3 blasts of energy for 6 damage, I believe I said, right? 3 times 2. What would you like to do?
You're muted.
Muted.
I'm gonna turn around. Does the statue look like it's moved at all?
It appears to have animated somehow,
Okay.
but it's still a stone statue, but it hasn't
Yeah.
had its turn, so it hasn't been able to advance from its position.
Okay. I have unfortunately used up all my magic-y things. So I will, other than the fact my bow is magic, but I will walk backwards to the edge of the room and pull my bow. -5 plus 10.
Okay.
15.
So you guys are in the east end of the room right now. You came in from the west.
Yep.
You've crossed to the east. You're up on the stairs. Are you going backwards back to the west?
I'm backing away the way it had been looking.
Okay.
So I believe
Which
north.
would be west.
No, you said it was pointing west. It was looking.
Oh, you're talking about the statue closest to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, it was looking south. It was pointing west. It was looking
Oh,
left.
wait. Are we fighting the statue that I was
You're
inspecting?
fighting the statue that had the magical energy around it.
Wonderful.
Okay. I'm still gonna head in the direction that statue that I was inspecting was looking, to the north, I
Okay.
believe.
South.
To the south, but I'm gonna, take a shot along the way,
You can
and I
do that.
hit a 15.
Okay. A 15, your arrow strikes the thing. Roll your damage.
21.
Okay. You also, with a mighty blow, and you have this innate ability now that you've learned to cause all this extra damage and create and inflict great pain, and it doesn't seem to be doing what you feel like it should do.
Yeah. No, I expected as much. Watching the first two, or I guess I didn't see the first two blows, but that's fine.
You were facing away from that thing.
Yeah, so I didn't see
towards
those
the
first
south
blows.
wall, and you were surprised by that. They happened to see where it came from, but obviously that's all historic by the time it happens.
I make a leap of judgment. I think I understand what that is about.
It's next in the initiative, and it is going to easily make its way over to you based on its movement. And it is walking. This statue has got a staff.
Yeah.
It has a wand in its hand, and it is coming towards you, like singular focus. And it's going to raise its hand, and from its hand, not the wand, but from its hand, blast this energy, or excuse me, this fiery arrow. Boom! And it's going to make an attack on you with that.
My AC is 17.
Okay. So it blasts against you, but it doesn't seem to pierce your armor.
Yeah.
Like it hits you, but it doesn't affect you.
Did it leave? Is it still within 5 feet of Flint and whatnot?
Yeah, Flint ran over to it, and it walked right past, so it would give Flint an opportunity attack.
All right.
Yeah, an attack of opportunity.
Boop, boop. That's going to be a 19.
And I have Sentinel too, so if it was within me, I would have hit it as well.
$19 and then 4 damage.
So 4 damage, okay. So you're chipping away at this thing as it's making its way over. I think that Harlow, because your Eldritch Blast is a ranged attack.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you probably weren't standing right beside it in melee.
No, I wasn't, was I?
Tell me what Sentinel does for you. Describe that to me.
If it passes by me, or basically it works if it attacks somebody within 5 feet of me, or I get an attack of opportunity. I actually had to pull it up here now. I can't remember.
Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll. I like percentile dice. I like dice telling tales. So I'm going to roll percentile dice. And if you're under 50%, I will say that you were making your way over to see why Pavel was so intently focused on that statue and the wall.
Yeah,
okay. You may take your attack.
Okay. I'm going to use my sword.
Okay.
15 plus 7, and that'll be...
That's a hit.
8 damage.
Okay, very good. You poke a hole in it a little bit. Your rapier bends and retracts back as you pull it back. Okay, so it approaches, and it's going to make its way over, and it shoots this firebolt as it approaches Pavel. Lythiris, you are next in line.
Well, it probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, so I'm gonna pull out Sunder, and I'm gonna walk up behind it and hit it with Sunder.
Yep.
That is 7, 8, 9. That's A dirty 20 to hit. And ooh, full damage. 17 damage.
Okay. So you take a mighty swing. You see the Minotaur like down with sunder, sparks fly, chips of granite also fly, and you hammer this thing and you take a chunk. But again, you feel like, geez, I just wailed on this thing. And not so much.
Okay.
Just
So I'm going to
wouldn't do.
use... Yeah. I'm going to use
Will
the
you
rest
do-
of my movement to pull myself in front of Pavel and give him 3/4 cover
Okay.
with my shield up.
Yep. Okay, so the Minotaur, Pavel, you see Lythirus make his way over, take a mighty swing with the axe, and all of you are noticing that nobody's melee attack seems to be having the typical effect it would have. Like, you're hitting, you're finding purchase, you're biting, but it's nowhere near what you think it should be or wish it was at this point. And Pavel, Lythirus steps in front of you, Pavel, to block the path of this giant walking granite statue stone thing. Lyalla.
I'm going to cast command on it and tell it to halt.
Okay.
So it'll need to make a wisdom save DC 15.
What's my DC?
15.
Okay. It stops.
All right. And I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon again. Bring out that great sword, and I'm going to whack it. So let's see.
Does force damage, right?
Yeah, it does force damage.
What was your DC on the spell save?
Mine?
Yeah, what did in order for the
15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it stops. Had to check that. But...
Alrighty, and that is going to be a 16
To hit?
to hit.
Okay. Do your damage.
Alright.
And you said this was your spiritual weapon?
Spiritual weapon.
Yep.
And that'll be 10 damage.
And that's force damage, isn't it? Even though it's an edged weapon?
Yeah, it's force damage.
Isn't it actually force damage?
Yes.
Yeah. So you see the great sword of Tritherion raise and come down onto this thing. Please describe for us, Cleric of Tritherion, how your spiritual weapon dispatches this statue.
So it would normally go for, if it was a human, it would be like a slice across the middle. So I guess it's going to strike the side, and it's hard enough that it cracks and falls apart.
Yeah. Yep. And so you've cloven this stone wizard in two, and it drops on the ground. Dust, chips of stone, chips out of the floor, much like when the other statue fell and toppled. And it grows quiet, save for the torch on the floor that was dropped in the rush of melee.
Well, that's
You all look
interesting.
wondering what the hell just happened.
Pavel, did you say anything around it? What happened?
No. I realized something, and upon inspection of that particular statue, and I point to the one that's pointing west, looking south, and I was heading in the direction it's looking, and that's when it attacked me. I think that there might be like a hidden door on that wall, and it's meant to protect anyone who gets near it.
Sounds about right. Let's see. You're right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk to where the statue is looking and inspect the wall.
Well, give me perception.
Oh, that's not as good. That's only a 12. Come over here. Help me, guys.
I'll give it a go.
I'll assist.
Okay, we'll assist.
All right, let's see. Perception, that's 22.
I have a 21.
Okay, so as you all are looking around at the wall, that whole area, you notice it looks like, as you look at the statue, the wall, everything, it looks as if you might be able to rotate the statue. Like it, the other ones were
Right
really,
at the wall.
it looks as if there might be just a little gap between the base.
Yeah,
and
I'm
the
gonna
floor.
jog
Wasn't
back
crazy.
over.
Yeah.
And start turning the statue to point at the wall.
I'll help him with that.
Same.
Yeah, I will too.
Okay, and how are you you're gonna turn the statue?
Yep.
Hmm.
19.
I have a 7.
Okay. So you
16.
begin to turn the statue slowly counterclockwise.
Does it feel like it spins much easier?
Nothing like the effort that had to be made to move the statue that you ultimately toppled. And as you move it over counterclockwise, right,
Mhm.
you hear a loud click. And you notice it looks like there's almost like a trap door or something under the base. As you turn that around, you can see a seam in the floor.
Okay, I'll inspect that, see if I can get my fingers under it, and
Yeah, it looks almost as if there's a kind of a door in the floor.
Yeah.
That the statue's sitting on.
like in the middle of it, or
Yeah, the statue's centered over some kind of a door hatch.
I'm gonna take one of my daggers, which I basically never use. Lythyris, push, and I'm gonna get my dagger in the new seam that's showed up, and try to sort of, with his help, sort of leverage it.
What direction is Lythyris pushing in?
Which way is the seam, or
The
is it
statue's-
all?
It's looks like it's a trap door or a hatch in the floor directly beneath the statue.
Okay.
The statue is now pointing at the south wall in the direction it used to be looking. It's now looking at the east wall because you've rotated it
All right,
a quarter turn.
Lythyris, try pushing it west.
Okay, West. But hang on. I'll do you one better than the dagger. And I reach up and I hand him one of my javelins.
Oh yeah, okay.
That'll probably give you a bit more leverage.
With a big enough lever, I can move the world.
Yeah. What you said. Natural 20. For
Okay.
pushing to the
So
west.
you're trying to topple the statue in the direction of the wall you entered.
Well, I don't want him to
west.
try to topple it. I want him to just try to tip it initially to see if it pops the gap at all.
Yeah.
Sorry if I didn't.
Yeah, so a mighty heave and the muscles rippling and it doesn't
Okay.
tip at all.
Try that again, each direction.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a roll for each direction?
I'm going to skip the dramatics and say that when you go to tip that statue away from the wall, so the head is moving to the north, you start to lift up the hatch.
Okay, yeah, and I'll put the javelin in and leverage it. So
Okay.
lay it down slowly. I don't want the statue to break.
Okay. I
Okay,
move over.
give me a strength and a dex.
Okay, strength and dex. For strength, it is 17. For dex, it is 13.
Okay. So you manage to roll the thing over and it moves much easier than the statue you tried to topple with the rope and Flint and Lyalla. Like this was built to do what it's doing, and it's just basically a big lever. The hinges are hidden down under the level of the floor, and it lifts the hatch and there appears to be, in fact, a stairway going down. The top of the stairs is about 5 feet from the wall. 10 feet from the wall.
I look at everyone. We found our way out.
Really, because it looks like we're just going deeper into this hellhole.
Well, it's at least a direction we can move.
Yeah, it's something new.
Beats being stuck in this room.
I mean, we're making relatively more progress than we did up on top.
True.
I have a feeling that that first layer we were in, that was just there to confuse, beguile, perhaps impress.
It was
But
a tourist trap.
I don't think it contained anything of true substance.
No. Whatever
I
this
mean,
place is built for, it's below.
we never would have gotten to where we are without the key we found on the first floor.
I agree. I'm not saying that that area was completely devoid of use, but I don't think it was the heart of the queue. I think it was the outer layer, the skin. We're delving deep into it now. We're getting close to the heart.
So you guys are in the statue chamber, right?
Yeah.
Still with the remaining statues. One is kind of got a couple pieces broken off of it.
Yeah.
Cracked. The one that you battled is a kind of a pile of chunks of stone, not far from where you are. You have a lit torch laying on the floor. When you're standing over a 5-foot wide stairway that descends, you can't really see how far because the torch is laying on the floor, kind of across
I'm gonna send Sonia down, see if she sees anything.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go grab the torch.
I don't
Okay, so Sonia flutters down quickly, and you see it's just, a short stairway. It only goes about 15 feet, and it comes to an iron door. There's a latch, there's a keyhole, and an iron door.
Maybe that's the other key.
My time to shine.
While I'm grabbing the torch, I lean down, I pop that amulet out again, and I whisper to myself very quietly, "Thank you, Bakab. I will sing your praises to the world." I'm gonna stand up and walk back over.
Anything else you want to do in the room?
Not that I can think of.
No.
Well, let's wait and see if Flint can get the door open first before we all start heading down.
I like lean in with my torch so there's enough light for her to see.
All right, I'm gonna head down and try the second key on the door.
The brass key. So Flint draws the brass key, and with that funny look in her eye and that little smirk on her face, inserts the brass key into the door, and with a snap, it unlocks the lock.
Yes. Vindication. Who jumped in the acid for something important? It was me.
I'm gonna look at you with we could have figured out how to get it in a safer way look. But
and I'm gonna give you hey, it worked.
Sort of like a resigned but annoyed look, basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a high five.
Yeah. And I just have a shit-eating grin on my face because you know what? My plan worked.
I'm gonna walk down and sort of, in a bit of a huff, walk past you, and go, "Good job. I hope the scars were worth it."
Chicks dig scars.
Pavel.
Slap her on the back.
Pavel. Before you leave the room, who's last out of there? I'm assuming it's Pavel. Has the torch. He's last out of the room, or did you go down with Flint? How did we leave?
I'll go last, yeah.
Okay.
Make a perception for me.
18.
18. So you notice as you're leaving, your torchlight kind of catches a red glint from the pile of broken, cracked stone that's once was
Yeah, I'm gonna.
an animated wizard of some sort.
I'll like look down to all the guys who are down, who had walked down. I'll be right back, guys. I think I dropped something, so I'm gonna run over and look.
Like to, I think I was second to last out. I'm just going to say that. So I'd like to double back and go with him because buddy system.
Okay.
We already lost
And
Bill. Let's not lose anybody
sort of,
else.
I'm gonna sort of shift
Won't lose
through,
Paddle too.
through the rubble and find that red, whatever's glinting red.
So as you poke around in there and Lythyris comes up, Lythyris, do you have anything you want to say as you're approaching Pavel?
No, I'll just walk up beside him, just kind of lean down and see what he's doing.
Okay. So Pavel, you dig around a little bit and you find a beautiful red, kind of clear, translucent, heart-shaped, must be a gem of some kind. And it's nice. And it's good sized, it's crystal clear and it is smoothly crafted, not faceted, in the shape of a heart.
Like cartoon heart or like heart?
Yeah, I would say kind of like a heart, human heart.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's been polished and chipped and cut away. You can see the chambers.
Left ventricle, right ventricle.
Yeah.
Aorta.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look up at Lythyris.
And it's for a gem. It's large.
Yeah.
It's not like a heart-sized heart. That would be insane.
Yeah, it's not this big as like.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Make a nature check for me, Pavel.
3.
Okay. It's a shiny, heart-shaped piece
8.
of glass-looking, cool,
Yeah.
shiny.
I'm gonna just sort of put it in my pocket, like.
Wait, can I make a nature check?
Sure.
Let's try that with my -3. Slightly better. It's a 11.
You get a sense it's some kind of, gemstone of some kind. Like it's not the average ordinary thing. It's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to
Share
this.
it with your friend Flint, who's really proficient in nature checks.
I put it in my pocket and ignore that. Did anyone hear a bird? What was that?
Or let the cleric cast detect magic on it.
The metagaming pigeons.
Nice.
Ooh, cool.
Metagaming pigeons.
Ooh, cool.
Okay. And so do you descend to the stairs with the rest of your party? Okay,
Yes.
so you open the door. It reveals a dark circular chamber, maybe about 25 feet in diameter. The ceiling, you hold your torch up, and it seems almost dome-shaped. There's 3 fancy unlit black lanterns suspended from a black chain hanging down kind of strategically, if they would light the room evenly if they were lit.
Was there a way to? Are that like how high up are those?
You could reach them.
Yeah, I'll walk around and chunk, 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 light them out.
There's nothing in there to light. There's no wick. There's no candle, tallow.
Is there? And they're just hung by a chain.
Yeah.
Single chain.
Just a black chain hanging, suspending each one, and they're kind of, the room is circular, 25-foot-ish diameter, and they're suspended kind of equidistant, so that if they were lit, they would probably illuminate the entire room.
Damn, I should have taken that flask of lantern oil from old Bill.
This is just him punishing us for losing the mule.
Yeah.
So you have the 3 lanterns, very nicely made. They look very, very nice.
Is there anything, and is that it for the room, or is there
That's
anything
what I
else?
was going to get to. There's a stone bench
Mhm.
along the east wall. The east wall would be to your left as you're in there.
Yep.
It's a long stone bench, about 15 feet. And it's kind of inset into the curve of the wall. There's another one along the south wall. It's a little bit of a shorter bench. And then there's a little metal brazier, metal brazier
Zero.
that rests between the 2 benches. And there's some dusty looking wooden cabinets that are set into the walls above the benches. So they look like not seating benches, but work benches.
I'm going
And there's
to
wooden cabinets.
I'm going to go to the west wall, or whichever one had the 15-foot long bench, and I'm going to open those cabinets.
East wall, sure.
East wall.
So you open the cabinets, and there is an array of vessels with various contents stuffed full. There's bunches and bunches of vessels. It kind of reminds you a little bit
of the room.
the workroom upstairs. Yeah. Various, goodness knows what's in there.
Are there any containers similar to the one I found the ghost cat in?
They're all just various kind of clay, glass, maybe metal tins, that sort of thing. If you'd like to spend some time looking around, you can certainly do that. Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Let's see if
Yeah.
I can't. It's another nat 20.
Okay.
That's my 4th nat 20.
God
That's
dang,
sick
man.
and twisted. That's amazing. It's awesome. Congrats. So you find a glass flask with a potion in it that is pink. It
Looked a little familiar.
Swirl it a little bit. It seems fairly viscous, not unlike the potions of healing you presently have with you.
All right. Potion of something healing. Because we don't know if it's a standard one. All right. I'll take that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk over to
There's probably 40 or 50 various sizes, so you can look through this thing if you like.
Before I do, I'm going to go over to the brazier and see if there's something in there to light that.
Sure. So you look in the brazier. There's soot. It looks like there are some etchings in the surface of the brazier. It appears to be made of brass. It looks like it's probably pretty nice if it were cleaned up. There appears to be a pile of maybe ash or something in there. The brazier itself is probably maybe 3 feet in diameter. It's fairly large.
What do the etchings say?
You'd need to kind of clean it's the ash and the soot and everything is it's hard to make sense out of them.
I'll take a scrap of fabric and I'm gonna set the torch down and sort of tip the brazier over to drop the soot out, and then stand it back up and wipe it.
Okay. So as you dump the ashes out, you notice a familiar red glint. As the ash kind of goes floof silently to the floor and makes dust, but you hear the hard clatter of stones or glass on stone floor. You see a familiar red glint.
I'm gonna reach down. Is it another little heart?
As you look through the ash, you find 3 more of these little, and they're smaller. They're not heart-shaped, but they're probably the same material.
Okay.
And the strange thing about them is they're each very warm to the touch. They don't burn you, but they're warmer than they should be. That's weird.
Okay.
How long does... Let me see something here. And what are the rest of you? Are you guys just kind of watching him
I'm looking in the other cabinets.
Okay. You're also going to find a number of vessels of various things. You find, some ash. There's, vinegar, wood chips, sawdust, water, sand, some kind of scat, some powdered fungi. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Your guess, any of you arcane people are guessing spell component type things.
If there's
Roll
anything that can
perception
refresh
for me,
mine
Lyalla.
stuff, I'm picking it up.
Do you think these wood chips would burn?
Maybe. Harlow, what'd you say?
I said if any of these components that are good for my spells are here, I'm refreshing my stuff.
Okay.
I look up.
Anybody looking through the containers, you're certainly welcome to make 3 perception checks each.
All right.
All right, let's find out what we see.
I'll go. Let me finish up with Pavel. You got 2 more perception checks.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, before I go back to the one I was looking in, I want to take those stones, those 3 stones.
Yeah.
I want to sort of plunk one in each dangling thing.
Okay.
Dangling lantern thing.
Now there's 3 of these stones. You all see him kind of reach up and drop something into each lantern.
When that doesn't work, I'm gonna go pick them back up.
Okay.
Pavel, what are you doing?
I found these.
Let me see.
They're warm.
Make me a nature check, Flint.
23.
Rubies. Very nice
And
rubies.
I put one in your hand. See, they're warm.
They're very warm. They're not like, how when you hold something that'll conduct heat, it warms? These are hot. They're not like gonna burn your skin hot, but it's weird. They're emanating heat.
Yeah,
They don't cool. Like Pavel, you've been holding them, moving them. They have cooled.
I'm gonna take it back. I was just thinking with the heat, maybe they would light the lanterns. But that didn't happen. Lyalla, did you mention something about wood chips?
Yeah, there's wood chips over here.
I'm gonna walk over and take the container containing the wood chips.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk back over to the brazier. Before I pour them in, I do want to wipe off the brazier.
Okay. Yeah. So as you do that, you wipe the soot away. You see these just hideous-looking, infernal, foul-fetid depictions of anything you might have to. Demons or some fell creature in despicable acts of torture and rape and murder and all engraved into this brazier.
Do I recognize if there's any writing on it? Do I recognize any of it? Because
there's no writing. It's just almost like, it's designed that way. It's there for decoration. Yeah. And
it's an embossing rather
various
than
depictions of, demonic faces and figures doing awful things, just despicable things to innocent. Yeah. Lovely.
I don't know if I should like this.
Let's just keep looking around first.
Yeah, I'll go back to the one I was looking at and make those other 2 perception checks. Both of those are going to be 13s.
Okay, so you find some sand. You find some kind of blood.
Oh.
You find some soured wine.
Great, cool. I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay. Anyone else like to make perception checks as you're looking through? He found a healing potion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Lethiris. All right, we'll just go down the row here. Lethiris, hit me with 3 perception checks as you.
I had a 21, a 15, and a dirty 20.
Okay. So you hold up a little container of, it looks like just powdered, shiny, sparkly, glittery glass. I mean, it's very shiny, it's very glassy, but it's powder. I mean, it's very fine.
So I'll hold it up and ask, does I know you guys mentioned magical components. Does this do anything for any of you? It's powdery glass.
Harlow can make an Arcana check. Flint would make a nature check for me.
14.
19.
Okay, Flint, you recognize that as crushed gemstones. It's hard to determine maybe which gems for sure because there's so many colors, but it's crushed mineral gems, that sort of thing.
That could be useful.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone want it?
I'll hold on to it.
All right. Hand it to Lyalla.
Abby, you'd find a vial with some very sticky, dark liquid. It's got a cork. And it looks like it wants to stick to the sides as you tilt it a little bit. Very.
All right. I pop the cork and I smell it.
Okay. It smells really, really bitterly acrid.
And what would I do to look at that? Investigate.
Anybody want to make anybody that's looking at that maybe a medicine?
Ooh, let me. I got really good medicine.
Yeah, I was about to say, let the cleric look at it with medicine, please.
Yeah, I'll roll too, but by all means.
I got a 23.
Oh, yeah, it's better than mine.
You feel strongly compelled to stop the Minotaur from touching that, smelling it any further, or ingesting it.
Probably put the cork back in there.
You're pretty confident that this is probably poison. And in fact, as Lythyris is digging through, he finds another vial of that.
So Lythyris now has 2 bottles of poison and a bottle of acid.
A bottle, yeah.
We have
Technically,
the
3
person
bottles
with
of
the...
poison.
Huh?
Technically, they have 3 bottles of poison.
Fuck. So the person with the lowest in our party has 3 bottles of poison and a bottle of acid. This is basically a grog deck of many things situation.
No,
What could go
I was
wrong?
thinking we have our own grog.
It's kind of cool rooting through the cabinets of a wizard, right? You just never know what you're going to find. Okay, Flint, you're going to do some perceptions?
Yep, let's find out. First one is a 17.
Okay. You find something that you recall. It looks very familiar to the stuff that you found on that group of gnomes in that big hall when you first got into the queue. They threw it and it exploded in a fiery bomb.
Alchemist.
Oh, goody. My favorite.
Yeah. Hit me
All
again.
right.
D&D
Second
equivalent.
roll is 22.
Another one.
Oh,
Hit me one more
awesome.
time.
That's gonna be an 8.
Okay. Sawdust.
Awesome.
Lyalla.
I got an 18, a 22, and the last one was a nat 20, so a 27.
Okay. You found another flask of the alchemist fire.
Ooh.
2 flasks of oil.
Oh.
That's a dangerous combo. Just tie those together and throw it.
Alright, 2 flasks of oil.
Harlow, would you like to see what you can
Yes.
find in the cabinet of magic?
Let's see. Natural 20, holy shit.
Nice.
A 12 and a 14.
Okay. You find another container of some kind of scat or dung.
Poop. Great.
You
Poop
find some alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, and you find a like a little glass vial, and it has this beautiful little stopper, kind of gilded gold. The stopper actually has like a gold wire wrapped around the top of it, and then that wire is wrapped around the neck. So if you were to take the stopper out, it would just hang there. And if you look at it closely, you see a very tiny, scantily clad female, like pounding on the inside of this little vial. And that is where we're going to stop tonight.
Ah!
Ah! Pixie in a jar.
Bye.
Woo!
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I had a question.
Wow.
And this is going to be timing wise, dinner time of day 6. So you just basically spent a half a day in game time making the progress you've made.
That felt like an eternity. My brain hurts.
Yeah, you had a couple combats and a lot of trickery and unraveling of secrets and things tonight. So let's go around the horn real quick. Let's start this time with Pavel. Tell us where we can find you, anything that really hit you tonight that was really cool, and we'll just make our way around the circle.
My Twitter handle is below, and I can be found here on the Castmac Twitch and in their Discord under the name Utilitas as a moderator. And I'm here every other Wednesday. Pavel is supposed to be sort of intelligent, and I feel like that part of him hasn't necessarily shown through so far. So I loved getting to sort of play smart Pavel.
I'd like to give you an inspiration for your work around password to activate the teleportation portal.
All right.
And I want to also hit Harlow with one as well for that very same. You guys kind of pieced some stuff together, playing off of one another, and I think you guys both should get some inspiration on that.
Cool, thanks. Also, I did love the little Bakab thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Bakab is Greyhawk's god of knowledge. He's a greater deity. So the fact that he deigned to give me anything was a big deal.
Yeah, I wanted to play that up a little bit, and I didn't want to just give you the thing.
Yeah. No, I love
that was the thing in the room, and I had to figure out how to help you over there at some point. So,
yeah.
Okay, excellent. How about Harlow? Tell us, where we can find you.
I am here on Twitch as Miss Misery, and my Twitter handle is down below. It's slightly different. I play in several different places throughout the week, so I always tweet the hell out of that. So I would suggest following me there if you want to see me play something else.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed tonight. It was frustrating, but in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really the first go-around you've had with puzzles and things to figure out and decipher and put some of the stuff you've learned together to figure stuff out. So good work there. All right, Lyalla.
All right. Hi. As I said at the beginning, I'm like the villain everywhere on the internet. This is really the only game I play in. So you can find me here every other Wednesday night. Otherwise, I lurk in other Twitch streams. And it's so good to have a game tonight. Yay.
Awesome. Okay, let's keep going here. How about Lythiris?
Hi, I'm Abby. I got the deal across the internet. It was frustrating because in some cases I knew what was going on, but I decided to be true to the narrative because Lythiris, as I mentioned before, has 4 intelligence. So I can't just say he knows it because he's stupid. He's a stupid boy.
I think I feel like I need to hit you with an inspiration for that as well, because that's hard to avoid metagaming when you know and the party's stuck You know, and there's a couple of spots when you could have metagame there. So you go ahead and take in an inspiration for that.
Yay.
Good work.
Right, so I just play I play in this game and then Mac Marches when it comes back. And the rest of my time I spend dying in college,
Ugh,
doing my best.
good times. All right, last, right, but certainly not least, our gay dumpster fire herself.
Aw,
Flint.
shucks. Well, I'm Shannon, Shanologic across all the internet, and Flint, one of her lower stats is intelligence, so it kind of felt awful to not be able to help, which is why I sort of metagaming pigeoned about the nature check, because I just really wanted to help. But this was a fun, interesting episode. I think Pavel really shined here for sure.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Good way to go,
Interesting.
Cal.
Good one, good one. All right,
Oh.
excellent. Fun time tonight. You guys got a lot accomplished. We were only in 4 rooms, but you did a lot of stuff, and so very cool. I'm Scott Wiley Hobbit on Twitter and Twitch, and you can see me here every other Wednesday. Hopefully, we're going to stay on track now with that, so we'll be back in a couple weeks. And I also play in the Mac Marches game when that picks up in the end of March, pun intended. And so that's what I know. Again, a big thank you to Dia Diapers from the Castle Mac community. That's Corey for producing us tonight and us to get online. Steven often does that, but he was doing Steven things. And so were it not for Corey, we would have had to wait another week. So
Thank you,
thank
Corey.
you very much, Corey, for that. Thank you for donating the book. Congratulations to Billy, who's Zeppelin, winning the book. That's really cool. Thanks to the Castle Mac crew for letting us borrow their airwaves for the night on the interwebs. And we'll see you all in a couple weeks. I think we're going to go raiding at this point, right?
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, internet.
Bye.